This is my review of the Lenovo ThinkPad X100e. I'll just pop up the specs for my particular configuration on the screen. And it should be the same for most people currently because there is not much choice in configurable options right now. Anyway, I'll just go into the Pro straight away. So what I like first and foremost is the matte display, and it's of course the 1366 by 768 resolution display, which is the norm for laptops of this size and larger. And furthermore, you've got a matte chassis, which is very nice, and the lid as well is matte. I haven't cleaned it once yet, and it's not showing the fingerprints that it's hiding the fingerprints quite well, so that's very nice. Oops. And what I like next is the keyboard. The best keyboard that I've used on an 11.6 inch size notebook so far, mainly due to the large size. So far, most of the 11.6 inch notebooks have used a slightly undersized keyboard, but here it's not wasting any space, kind of like the Asus Spy 40 and 10 keyboard. However, this is a much better keyboard. There's no flex, or at least when you're typing normally, there's no flex. And the key response, the feedback is quite good as well. So easily the best keyboard there. And that goes with the trackpad as well. Okay, you got a very decent sized trackpad there. Buttons are soft. You've got 2 buttons. There's multi-touch scrolling, but I didn't find that particularly responsive. Actually, it's quite normal actually, average. But I didn't find myself using that. I was using the side scrolling here, which feels much more responsive to me. And of course, you've got the trackpad here and 3 buttons here. You can hold down the middle button and nudge this to scroll up and down. Buttons are soft, very good. I don't use a track point, so I have no opinion on that. Okay, and next you've got 1080p video. The ATI Radiant HD3200 allows for 1080p video, so let's take a look. This is a 1080p video that I've downloaded. It's the Jackie Chan trailer, so let's just have a look at this. So this is pretty much straight out of the box. You just need to download a compatible player. So I'm using MPC HC here, and you don't need to do anything particular. There's no configuration settings you need to do. So let's take a look at CPU usage. So CPU usage is dropping right down to, we've got like 40%. It's dropping down maybe 30 to 40%, so that's very good for 1080p HD video. But problem is I cannot watch 1080p video in battery mode. So if I just go to the lowest battery setting, okay, so we just switch down to the lowest setting. Okay, and let's try that again. So here is the video again, but it's not exactly smooth. Pretty close, not really watchable though. And if we have a look at CPU usage, the CPU usage goes right up to 100%.
Yeah, but I think we're talking about the other one, Mom.
Okay, so that's kind of strange that I can't play 1080p video on the lowest battery mode. You can, however, play 720p video on any mode. The CPU alone, I think, can process 720p video by itself. So I have no problem with 720p video. So I'm just going to put it back to performance mode. Okay, and what I like, another thing that I like is the webcam and the microphone. I tested out those features with Skype, and I found the 0.3 webcam to be of very high quality. Wasn't quite sure at first whether it was a 0.3 megapixel webcam, but it was very sharp. It's not there's no noise and blurry images that you kind of get with low quality 0.3 megapixel webcams. And the microphone, there was no background noise, and the voice was very clear, very surprising there, so that's very nice. And the last feature that I like is the that it's very easily upgradable. On the back here you've got one large access panel to access Wi-Fi. There's a free PCI Express slot there. However, I think it's locked. I haven't tested that out yet. And you've got your 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. There's Bluetooth in there. And 2 RAM slots for up to 8 GB of RAM. However, I'm not sure if the chipset supports 8 GB of RAM. I think it does actually, because they are shipping 64-bit versions of the OS with this model. So those are the things that I like. So now let's go on to the cons. I've just actually mentioned one. What's going on now? It's turned itself off. Well, I've just mentioned one con just then, and that is I can't play 1080p video on the lowest battery setting. Okay, so it's turned itself off. Okay. And the thing about the keyboard is the function and control keys are switched around, so that might take a little while to get used to. And also at the end here, you don't have the delete key. You've got the enter key, so it has been moved over to the left here, so that can take a while to get used to as well. So just those two things. But with this situation here, in the BIOS you can switch that around. There's an option for that on ThinkPad models. So that's a nice feature. And next thing I don't like is the battery sticks out. As you can see here, 6-cell battery. But at least it's kind of flush with the surface. It doesn't raise the notebook, so it makes it easier to slip into a case or some kind of sleeve. So that's quite nice. Still, I'm not liking how it sticks out. Don't see why they have to do that, but anyway. And next is the sluggish performance on battery mode. On battery mode, the lowest mode, the CPU scales down right down to 800 megahertz, and it kind of feels even slower than a netbook, to me anyway. I've got benchmark figures, you can check those out in my written review, but it's way right down below netbook performance. And next, there's no HDMI port. If I look on the back here, there's only VGA, or where is it? Here, sorry, VGA out. So if you're hooking it up to a large monitor, you won't get the best quality, and it kind of makes it more difficult to hook up to an HD TV, because a HDMI cable is just more convenient. And next, the battery life. I'm only getting around 3 to 4 hours with the 6-cell battery, and that is on the lowest battery mode. So 3 to 4 hours out of 6-cell battery doesn't sound that good. However, it should suffice really for some situations, and not everyone is needs that much battery life anyway. So that is my review of the Lenovo ThinkPad X100e. Thanks for watching.